side of the story.
And we're in pairs, so
So-
I contribute.
Thank you, brother. I love you. And so, mom, before dad passed away, she didn't work.
Okay.
And so she has taken on new responsibilities and new roles. I get it now, she has to be a mom and a dad. But we just feel that it's unfair because she's, once again, she was very quick, I felt, to point out I'm the mom.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like she left us, like she abandoned us, and she forgot that it wasn't just this financial crisis for her.
Right.
It was also a financial and an emotional crisis for the entire family.
Okay.
And so sometimes it's hard to see us having to be so strong for her all the time, and I just think at this point, like, I'm resentful, I'm angry, I'm upset. Like, she can't do no right in my eyes anymore because when we needed her the most, she decided to become an I person.
Okay.
So that's my interpretation.
Amy, I would like to hear what happened from your perspective.
Well, I can see why they felt like I just checked out, but I was so worried about keeping the mortgage paid and making sure that they had food, and there was just all these things that happened at once, and I went all the way, and just for the record, that was your dad's choice. That was completely his decision, and I just didn't feel like it was my place to go and tell you when he was not ready to tell you. So I apologize for that, and I know that that hurt you and left you unprepared. But that was his choice. It was
Okay.
his life and his death, and I had to go with what his wishes were.
Okay.
But I was under the impression the whole time that we were using our whole entire life savings to care for him medically, that we had something to fall back on. And when he died, and I found out that we literally had nothing, and we were good at the risk of losing our house, yeah, I kind of did shut down, and I probably did push you guys aside, but I was so scared. And I haven't worked like basically your whole life. So here I just was like
who else we
overwhelmed.
have? So there's Amy, Hector, and Tabitha, right? Who else is, and then your husband who's passed
Husband
away.
passed away.
Who else is in your family?
That's basically it. We don't have a lot of.
Do you have any
his family's in Mexico.
siblings or sisters, people that you were able
Not that I
to?
could call on for that. I mean, I have a couple
Okay.
of friends that have given me, emotional support. But as far as like, to
Are you an
ask-
only child then?
yeah, I'm an only child. In his
Okay.
family, we never really
Not
dealt
very
like that.
close.
They
So,
probably
yeah.
blame me for his death. for
That's
all
what I
I
was
know.
gonna say.
So
They're
are there
not
any
close to us
cousins?
'cause of
There's
her.
no cousins or anyone else that
No,
you guys
like
are
we
dealing
literally have each other, and
with? Okay.
she's over here saying she was blindsided by the financial status or whatever. Well, I'm sorry, but when you and Dad were telling us about his colon cancer, you were just literally just cleaning the house like it was nothing because you knew. And we were so blindsided. You said you're worried about losing the house now. We were scared about losing our dad at the time. We were so blindsided. And now that it's gone, the tables have turned. It's like you can't just come over here and wanting us to, feel bad for you when you were just like nothing. And
So
Well,
Juan,
I
for
felt-
you, the problem is you feel that you were blindsided. I heard you say that word a few
Yeah.
times by your father's diagnosis. And Tabitha, you feel right now, your issue right now is that you feel like your mom wasn't there for you guys.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I feel that she makes, like, anytime anybody has an issue, it's not about me needing a ride to work last night. It's about her and where she's at. And, just even the way she opened today, like, I'm so uncomfortable because this is the way we live. It's always about her.
And Amy, so we've identified what their two problems are. What do you feel the issue is? What is
Well, I
bothering
think
you the
that
most right now?
the fact that they seem to team up on me, and
Okay.
it wasn't always like that. I mean, before, I felt like we had a pretty happy family. When Dad was alive, we all seemed to have a really, I thought we were a happy
And
family.
you all seem to be in agreement on that.
And so his death, going through the process of his illness and his death, would really, yeah, and I didn't agree with him not telling them until it was close to the end. But then, as soon as we did, they seemed to just retreat and turn away from me. I didn't feel like I could.
So let's
I
go
didn't
back
know
to
what
what
they
you just
needed.
said. So it was he was the one who wanted to
That
sort of
was
keep
completely
it.
his choice.
Okay.
I would never do that. Why would I want them not to be able to grieve their dad?
And so
You know,
was that,
I wanted us to do it as a family.
Mhm.
And through James's decisions, it seems to have just driven a wedge in between me and my children, whom I love very much.
Right.
I mean, and I know they're bitter. I'm bitter too, but for a whole different reason. I mean, I love
What
the
is the
kids.
reason?
Because James,
Okay.
he really, may he rest in peace. I'm not trying to talk bad about your dad. I loved your dad. I gave him my whole entire life. We had a good life. But the way that what it came down to when he left, it seems to have torn our family apart. And we're just left with what we have here.
So
But
you have a
it's
lot of
unhappy
responsibility
people.
on your shoulders
It
to
feels
clean
like
up
it.
that
It
mess.
feels like it, yeah.
But you did this to yourself because for me, I can't trust you. That's the thing. I don't trust you for what you did. And for her, you just weren't there for us as a family. So now I'm speaking because I'm hearing what she's saying, and she's talked to me about it, but not in this way. She doesn't see you even as a friend or a mom because you haven't been there for us. And I can't let you into my life like it was before because I don't trust you. There has to be that foundation first.
So this is why we're here.
Okay. So Hector and Tabitha, I see you guys are really close.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have to be because I mean the person that used to be there for us, she's like lost somewhere, and I feel like she guided us through the forest and just left us there while she's like wandering around trying to figure out who she is.
Yeah.
Like she's just not there anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who
absolutely.
else other than each other have you guys leaned on during all of this?
I think for myself, it's just, primarily been
Mhm.
my brother. I've
Yeah.
tried to focus with work now that I'm having to work part-time.
Okay.
and-
So you both work right
Yes.
now? Okay.
We all went to work. We all had to go to work.
Yeah.
And we're
So
all
we had
relying
to
on
pay
one
But
the
car.
okay, but do you see that? We all went to work. Like, she couldn't acknowledge the fact that, yeah, we took on job. She has to make it about her.
Yeah, and it's always like that with her. And she's nodding her head because she knows it's true.
So what do you hear when you hear your daughter saying that?
Just a lot of ugliness and resentful, I mean, yeah, okay.
Give me a reason.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know, that's why I'm here. I mean, I am here because I'm willing to do what it takes to put my family
Okay.
back together again,
So
because I love
that's
my
your goal
kids.
then.
I love my kids.
Okay.
And I feel like, we were happy once. Maybe it seems selfish that I've been trying to do what it takes to hold the physical part of the life together, and it sounds like they have a completely different view of what happened to me. I'm
Right. So the perspective of that experience might be different for each one of you. Could we all agree on that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you also all agree that you were a really happy family, right? So there's some common.
They're good
Around.
kids. They're good kids. They've always been good. They've always gotten along. They've always been helpful around the house. I mean, and I was a stay-at-home mom. I did soccer. I did ballet. I was that mom.
Mhm.
And when he got sick, and I had to hold that secret inside and try to act like it was normal. And we can't upset the kids. They're getting ready to graduate from high school. Da, 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 da. I mean, it made sense at the time because I was just trying to process my own stuff. I guess
You
I
were trying to do
forgot.
the best that you could.
And
in
that's
your
what he wanted, and that's,
perspective.
we didn't realize that it was gonna happen so fast.
But
But I
what's
guess I
normal
really
about
forgot
colon
about-
cancer?
Well, people survive cancer all the time, son.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I forgot that, in what ways that it was gonna affect them and how bad.
So I've heard that your mom's goal is sort of to get back to like a more cohesive together family. What is your goal for therapy?
I think that my goal would kind of be the same.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think that at this point, for me at least, Hector, mom's really gonna have to do the work, like prove to me.
Okay.
Because though, words are just their face value.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I'm here,
I feel the
I'm
same.
willing.
Okay.
I feel the same. I feel like we all have that vision where, go back to what we used to be even without Dad. But not only is she gonna have to put in the work, but I feel like we all have to put in the work.
Mhm.
Or at least try to. It's just gonna take more time and
Okay.
energy as opposed to just kind of like her playing the victim. Because we're all
Okay.
I
victims.
like
I'll
that,
give you
brother.
that.
Like we really are. We all lost
Okay,
one
so that's
person.
one more thing that you guys can all agree on together, right? That you're willing to put in the work to maybe hear each other better? Is that a
Oh, wow.
safe assessment? You wanna hear each other better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, communicate a little better?
Because we haven't really had this blowout at home. It's usually more of like the pointing fingers.
Okay,
But I mean,
I accept responsibility. I am not above that. I know that I have not been perfect through this whole,
Well, it's glad to hear that
Fiasco.
because, you know,
I'll
normally
own it.
arguing in our home normally looks like everybody takes their own personal stance and then we hear doors slam, everybody goes into their room.
so after,
And then we'll come and we'll kind of be like, hey, let's process. But she continues to stay in her room. And so I think that this is one of the few times that we've actually said, well, maybe there is some common ground.
so normally after there's a conflict, you all break apart and go in your own separate room and then you don't talk about it again? What happens
No.
after that?
Like I said, we'll kind of,
we'll
yeah.
we'll
Okay.
like leave the house because our house is very toxic.
Okay.
We'll leave the house, and then we don't even talk about what just happened. We just pretend like it didn't happen.
add the extra layer, and there's another extra layer, and another extra layer of that. This has been coming for a while. This has been building. I mean, well, James has been gone for a little over a year.
Mhm.
And then it was, they only knew maybe 6 months before he
Okay.
died. He'd been sick for about a year, and we didn't tell him until, just a few months before he died. And so it's kind of been,
And so you've
really
been
fractured.
at work for 16 years, so what do you do now for employment?
I just work in an office.
Okay,
I do my best. And, yeah, mind you, I had a little office job when, right after high school, in between like college. But things have changed
so
so
that's
much. I
been
feel
a
like
really
I'm
big change and
swimming.
adjustment for you.
I don't know how to do computers. I've always been kind of stuck when it comes to that. I mean,
That's hard.
we use typewriters,
Right,
and so I feel like I'm just swimming in a world of stuff that I don't know. I don't know how to do a lot of this stuff, so I feel even more incompetent.
okay.
You know,
And
and
so are
then-
you guys in school right now? And going to,
I-
and working?
I just dropped out because trying to help.
Financially.
I never asked him to do
Okay.
that. I would never ask him to do that. I just would appreciate them being closer. I mean, it costs a lot of money to go away to school. We can get financial aid here in town. I would never,
Honestly, I did it not because she told me, but because I felt obligated based on her stress load, and it kind of
The
I really
argument
did
it always
feel
is,
like she did ask
what
us.
I'm going through,
Yeah.
you don't know how difficult this
And
is.
it's kind of just like, okay, well then you know what? I'll drop out if
Yeah.
it'll get you to calm down and you to like me and stuff. Like I'll do it.
Okay.
So it's like in a way she kind of did
So you
force
guys
it, but
feel like a lot of it's been put on you to just sort
oh
of
yeah,
handle it on
Well,
your own?
It's like now we as her children have to combine together and make a husband for her.
yeah.
We
Well,
have to
kind of-
help financially, we have to help in all these other things that in the past we didn't.